The Starfield release date, as well as the Starfield Direct showcase, has been announced. I think this is all good news. There is a bit of a debate about whether or not this is a delay. I will be discussing all of that very briefly right here at the beginning of the video, so you don't have to go searching for my thoughts. This is a live stream, so I do debate it back and forth with the audience. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on everything that we get to talk about. Starfield now has an official release date as well as a showcase date. They've got new gameplay, we've got commentary from Todd Howard, we have all sorts of things sort of baked into a short little video that didn't say much or show much, but it certainly is good to finally have a date and to finally have a showcase date. Now, one of the things that sort of surprised me was that we're debating whether or not this is a delay. I'm going to briefly talk about that because I think that's a considerable waste of energy and time to not just have the integrity and the self-respect of saying, yeah, this is a delay, and that's totally fine. I also want to talk about the new gameplay footage contained in the trailer, Todd Howard's comment. Some people are, I think, twisting some of the things that he said in the video, and I also want to talk about the timing of the showcase and the release date. There were questions about whether or not the game will be on Game Pass. We're going to answer all of that. I even have two wild tinfoil hat theories for you that I will be sure to include in this video. So first and foremost, let's just talk about the delay. I'm not interested in debating with folks who are insisting that this is not a delay, okay? I'm happy it was delayed. I even pushed for it. I have a video where I said, please delay it. I literally have a video with that as the thumbnail, right? My primary concern for a very long time has been quality and performance. I've consistently said Starfield could be a very special game. It could be their next Skyrim. And when I look at the gameplay, that was always my concern. It's like, listen, take as much time as you need. There was even that rumor that came out that like Microsoft was really pushing for it to land in June, and I thought June was a terrible month for the game to land in. I even said, listen, it'd be a great month for the showcase because you're already doing stuff anyway. Now remember, Bethesda officially announced that both Redfall and Starfield would be landing in the first half of 2023. Okay, these were official announcements from Bethesda. I saw people online saying this was an estimate. These were estimates. These weren't real dates. This wasn't really the target. Listen, that's ridiculous. You're literally reaching and just showing that you lack integrity and self-respect. Like, come on. This was something that was officially announced. I was told that I was absolutely wrong when I said it looked like the release date had changed. When they changed the date on Steam, everybody pointed to the official Bethesda help page and said, it's been confirmed, bro, first half of 2023, okay? I don't want to focus on this. I do need to speak to it because I think I'm going to have people coming in all throughout the stream telling me that it wasn't a delay because I guess they think that's important to defend the game against that. But listen, calling out YouTubers and calling out people that are calling this a delay, I just think that ends up looking like pathetic levels of cope. And I hate using the word cope. I hate using the word copium, but that's a pathetic level of copium to be like, no, it's not a delay, okay? It's a delay. Owning that makes you look like an intelligent, honest, and to be fair, smart person. And not only that, it's likely to be a better game. The second thing I want to talk about, the new gameplay footage actually looks fantastic. Now, a lot of it's sort of in the background behind handsome Todd Howard as he stands in the studio and just sort of talks, and I think there's a lot of questions remaining about performance. I'm seeing people jump to the conclusion that, yep, Starfield's going to be 60 FPS. Listen, they didn't say that, and they certainly didn't say anything about the Series X or the Series S. We were likely looking at gameplay on a PC. It's over his shoulder there. There's a handful of times where they're playing at like desks and just sort of, moving through the game. That could be on a PC, a really souped up PC. It could also be a vertical slice. We really still don't know. I think we need to look to the June showcase to get answers about performance. Everything I saw looked awesome. This stream to me is all about, this is good news. The delay is good news. The gameplay that they're showing actually looks better than what we saw previously, albeit these are very, very short clips, but I felt like the movement was very, very good. The gunplay was good. There's a couple of spots here where they're just sort of roaming around areas, and you can see how dense the game is going to be, how much stuff there's going to be. Obviously, that gives me lingering concerns about the Xbox Series S performance because of that memory bottleneck, but I do think that what we see looks better. The gunplay especially, there was a couple of scenes where they're swapping guns and getting into gunfights, and even some of the menu systems and things that they're getting involved with. I do think this gameplay looks significantly better than what we've already seen. Now, the opening cinematic confirms nothing either. People were looking at the opening cinematic and saying, yep, 60 FPS, told you. Nobody's claiming that. Bethesda's not claiming that. Xbox isn't claiming that. Listen, you can't jump to those types of conclusions, because what you're doing is you are setting up the audience for disappointment if you are wrong. These Xbox fanboy YouTubers are doing nothing in the favor of Starfield or Xbox by running with false narratives and jumping to conclusions. What if it isn't 60 FPS on the Xbox? What if we're only looking at PC footage? What if it isn't 60 FPS on the Series S? We don't know, and jumping to those conclusions, you need to stop watching people that do that. If they're immediately trying to run some narrative, no, we need confirmation from the studio themselves, and then we also need to have our hands on the game. That's the only true test of performance, not some trailer that is, I will admit, finally showing us stuff that looks like it's 60 FPS. Now, the other people were weighing in and saying it looked like it was variable 60 FPS. This is why the Starfield showcase is needed. This is why I did a video. I said, listen, these are the things I want from the Starfield showcase. This is what I want from Starfield Direct. And one of the things I talked about was you need to speak specifically to performance. It is a gigantic question mark at this point, and I do think it needs addressed. Now, there are snippets of gameplay that I have some takeaways about. I already said I think movement and gunplay looks better. I think the world looks impressive and lush. Foliage is sort of dense and well populated in the few areas that we saw. Performance does look solid. Again, we're not seeing full screen gameplay, but from what I saw, it looks like they've gotten maybe better with optimization and performance. We have to assume we're looking at vertical slices on PCs, so we're going to continue to ask those questions about the Xbox Series X and Series S performance. The third thing I want to talk about, many people are running with the following quote from Todd Howard, and I don't think they're being fair to Todd. I saw a couple of headlines that I would argue are stupid headlines. Here's the quote from Todd Howard. He said, "We have poured ourselves into this game, and even I'm surprised at how much we can pour. It is large." He's basically saying the game is crazy big. I'm kind of surprised, how much we've been able to pour into it. Now, I saw headlines like this. Even Todd Howard is surprised at how big Starfield is. No, he's not. He's not surprised at how big Starfield is. The quote sounds more like he's saying, listen, I can't believe how much stuff we can jam into a game. I can't believe how much we've been able to pour into this. He wasn't saying, oh yeah, I came into the office on Thursday and I just couldn't believe how big the game was. Like, he's not disconnected from this project. He's not sort of blown away by their own work, okay? That's a stupid read of his quote. I saw multiple headlines running with that. Listen, Don't headline hunt this time around. People are already running with the most ridiculous takes about this trailer and announcement. Try to follow people that are maybe a little bit more in the middle, because it's just absurd what people are running with, all right? Todd Howard knows how big the game is, all right? Stop it. Stop with the nonsense headlines. The fourth thing I want to talk about, the timing of the showcase and the release date, I think, is really important to discuss, all right? The showcase landing in June, right after the Xbox showcase, I think is a great call. It's something that I predicted. I said, listen, I think that's a great month for marketing. Everybody's, booting out their trailers and footage. It would be far better to do the showcase in June than to launch the game in June. The Starfield Direct landing in June is something I said multiple times. I said, listen, I don't get a feeling that we're getting this game in June. They're not going to make the first half of 2023, and that's okay. I consistently said I'm fine with that. I'm pulling for that. Give the game as much time as possible, okay? Great month for marketing, not a great month for launching because you got Diablo and Final Fantasy 16 and Street Fighter. June is jam-packed. I am fully in support of this launch date. I kept predicting 10/10/23 because I thought it looked cool. I thought it would be able to do their whole, the date looks the same everywhere, because even I got confused by the date. I was like, 69, what in the world's going on? Nice, but also confusing. So I was off by a month with my predictions, okay? Now, no matter how you shake this, the reason I'm saying I called it or I predicted this is simply because I want to stress again for the umpteenth time, I want this game to be good. I wasn't pulling for a delay because I wanted to be able to run a negative headline. I was pulling it for it to be good because I really want to play this game. I really want to enjoy it. I believe it can be great, and more time will help that happen. I was concerned when I was hearing rumors that the thing was going to get pushed out before it was ready. That was more concerning than the gameplay itself, in my opinion. The fifth thing I want to say is, the question about Game Pass came up, okay? Because this ending frame hit, and there's no mention of Game Pass at all. Not a blip of it. Now, if you go watch on the Bethesda channel, their official gameplay reveal ends with PC Game Pass really big and Xbox Game Pass really big. So people started questioning. They're like, oh my gosh, is it not going to be on Game Pass? I was like, there's no way. Let me try to get clarity. So I sent out a tweet. I was asking for folks to dig into it. Is there any official word? Why would they suddenly not be mentioning Game Pass? It's not on their Twitter or anything. So the official Bethesda page that is announcing both the Starfield Direct and the Starfield release date says the following, quote, Starfield arrives exclusively on Xbox Series X, S, and PC on September the 6th, 2023. Play it day one with Xbox Game Pass, all right? So that has been officially announced on their website. So the absence of it in the trailer is tied to one of my tinfoil hat theories. I'll get to that in a moment because I do think something is going on. It is interesting that Game Pass seems to be tucked away, okay? It's not on their tweets. It's not in their social banners. It's not in the trailer. If you do a comparison to Starfield to Redfall has the Game Pass logo in the final frame of its latest trailer. Redfall also says the following in their Twitter profile, Day 1 on Game Pass, May 2nd, 2023. So perhaps the marketing strategy around Game Pass is changing after June. Maybe they don't want to make it such a giant focus because maybe they're going to change their strategy with Game Pass. Some not so great information came out from the acquisition about what Game Pass is doing to their ecosystem. If shareholders and higher ups are looking at that and thinking maybe differently about how Game Pass is positioned, it will only account for about 15% of the Xbox game division's revenue annually, so it's not even a huge revenue mover. You could see a strategy shift. That's related to one of my tinfoil hat theories in just a moment. It would actually make sense that all of the games landing outside of that 12-month promise, if you remember, they said everything you see in this Xbox showcase is coming out in the next 12 months, and a bunch of games aren't making the cut. Well, maybe not a bunch, but at least 2 big games aren't making the cut. I'm fairly certain that Forza Motorsport is not making the cut, and now we have confirmation that Starfield's not making the cut, and the marketing around those games may look different. Games landing outside that promised window might start packaging and wording things differently with respect to the focus on Game Pass. Now, let's do some tinfoil hat theories. I've got 2. One of my theories was that Xbox is going to use the June showcase to announce big changes to Game Pass. I actually think Game Pass will go through changes very soon. Not just price increases, but changes. Just a prediction that I have. I don't think subscription services can stay as they are. Even the TV subscription services and streaming services are running into trouble. So I do think there will be adaptations and evolutions made to PS Plus, to Game Pass, and all of your TV subscription services. Starfield and other titles landing outside of their 12-month promise will likely have a very different marketing thrust, I believe, with less of a focus on Game Pass. If my theory is correct, this will be a slow turn away from making Game Pass the centerpiece of all of their marketing. The ABK deal stands to give them a lot of property, and it may just be better suited to not always do day and date. That doesn't mean they're going to eliminate day and date, but they might not do it for every single game. Again, this is just a tinfoil hat theory based on what appears to be a shift in the Game Pass logo placement as well as the focus on Game Pass if you compare Redfall to Starfield. So we'll look to June and we'll look to Xbox Showcase to see whether or not what I'm predicting comes true. My second tinfoil hat theory, and boy oh boy is this going to get people turned up because they hate this one. I get hate for this one and I don't care. Paul, who hangs out here fairly regularly, pointed out on Twitter that the verbiage on the Bethesda website may support my theory that Starfield will eventually not be an Xbox exclusive. Listen to the verbiage. Starfield arrives exclusively on Xbox Series X and S and PC on September the 6th. And he said, that's kind of strange language. Arrives exclusively, not played exclusively, not this is an Xbox exclusive. This arrives exclusively, almost as if it is a timed exclusive. It's the verbiage you would use for something that's going to release exclusive, but not stay exclusive. This is a tinfoil hat theory. Even Pete Hines in an interview recently kind of waffled and said, I don't know about Starfield remaining as an Xbox exclusive. He's the head of publishing, okay? If there's somebody that might know there's a shift in strategy, it would be the head of publishing at Bethesda. I will admit, I like this view of arrives exclusively. It supports my theory. I also feel like it's just strange wording. What, arrives? Who talks about games like that, right? Rather than say, play it exclusively on Xbox Series X and S and PC, it arrives exclusively. It's just an odd way to phrase it. I know I'm going to get hate for this theory. I don't care. I'm throwing it out there. I was 1 month off in my predictions about Starfield. I said June showcase, 10/10/23 release date. It's coming out in September. I was pretty doggone close. I was closer than all your insiders, all right? I think the exclusivity strat at Xbox is changing. If it can bolster Game Pass and the ecosystem and then be sold later on other platforms, I think that that's a good strategy, especially if you're going to push it to PlayStation, a platform that's proving to generate more revenue from sales than Xbox. Just look at how much revenue they generated for Activision. PlayStation accounted for 13% of Activision's annual revenue, and Microsoft's revenue was so low it wasn't even on the report. And if I'm Microsoft, I'm looking at that and saying, hey, we can make a ton of money over there. Like, making money on your competitor's platform is a brilliant plan. Let me give you my thoughts and my conclusions. Those of us who called for a June showcase and a second half of 2023 release date, we got what we wanted, all right? At least those of us that wanted that for the sake of the game's quality and performance. While I think some YouTubers are running with the delay headline to get easy clicks, they're not wrong. This was a delay. It's a fair take. It's a fair description of what's going on. I don't see that being central to my position on the announcement and the gameplay. This is all good news. We don't need to focus on a pitiful, pointless debate from people who are just being dishonest. The second thing I want to say is Starfield has the ability to be a major title for Xbox and Bethesda. I've continually said that this could be another Skyrim moment for them. I'll continue now until the game is in my hands to ask about performance, especially on the Series X, and I really want to know how it's going to run on the Series S. That's more important to Microsoft than vertical slices and beefy PC showcases. Your Xbox fanboys and YouTubers that say nothing ill of the platform, they can run with 60 FPS tweets and mislead the public all they want. We haven't seen Series X and Series S performance. Bragging about the game getting 60 FPS on a PC is silly. It's juvenile, okay? The third thing I want to say, as far as I can tell, Game Pass is going to undergo changes, both from a marketing standpoint, but also from a structural and a feature standpoint. Recent reports, commentary, and even the difference in Redfall and Starfield promotional material, I think points to changes coming to Game Pass. I do know there will be a price change, okay? These changes will potentially be announced in June at the Xbox Showcase. I think a price change in Game Pass will come after Starfield, because remember, Starfield's now $70 for those that actually purchase it, so that is a price increase for anybody not on Game Pass. So they're not going to want to double down and also increase the price of Game Pass. They'll likely do that after the Starfield release date. So here is my conclusion. A trailer for a showcase and just a release date has clearly shown that Starfield has a strong draw, and so does Bethesda. While I see all of this as a big win for the title, the showcase date, the release date, and the gameplay, all of this is a W, all of this is a win. I'm still withholding judgment until we get rock-solid clarity on performance. Starfield getting a delay and a showcase coupled with the Xbox Showcase is good news. Let's just hope that that trend continues for both Starfield and the Xbox gaming ecosystem in 2023. And that's the show open. I'm trying to shorten them. There was too much to say this time. There's almost 500 people here on YouTube. Smash the like button. Let's set our sights on 200 likes. What did you guys think? What did you think of all of my commentary? And let's get everything up on the board here. So here's our member goal for the day. And we are going to keep account of how many people tell me it wasn't a delay. Because we're anticipating that. We're going to keep track of that. So great opener. Thank you. Thank you. If you're watching over on the Tickety Talk, make sure you're smashing the like button. We already have 3,000 likes over there. Thank you guys so much. You want a new trailer breakdown? Yeah, I mean, we could go and do like a frame by frame in a little bit. We could go do a frame by frame in a teensy bit. Wasn't a delay. Start the counter. Are you being serious? I'm not going to do it for people that are just being funny. I'm only going to do it for people that genuinely think that. Because we just want to laugh at you. We don't want to engage with you. Are you also excited about Starfield? I've been excited about Starfield for a really long time. I have been excited about Starfield for a super long time. I continue to think this is exactly the kind of game that I want. Right? You're not serious? Okay. What was the good news? The good news is they delayed the game. We have a showcase. This is what I wanted. This is everything I wanted. I thought 10/10/23 was a cooler release date. I can get over that. This is what I wanted. Do the showcase in June, launch the game in the second half of the year, and I'm happy. That's what I want. That's all that I want. It was a delay technically. Yeah, I just pushed out a short of me ranting about that. If Microsoft said it would be out first half of 2023, it comes out second half, wouldn't that be a delay? Brother, Twitter is a crazy land. It's a crazy land. I don't think people are going to come in here and do it because they'll probably just end up looking silly. Good morning, Feed. Good to see you in the chat. Very detailed, GG. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do think this game is going to be a great single-player space RPG experience. I got the most excited about Starfield when they had the trailer that showed the inside of the ship changing, and they talked about sort of expanding your staff and your ship, right? And so, as a reminder, you're invited to sign up now. I already did. Please see your invitation for details. Let us know if you have any questions. Okay. I already applied to this. Can I get confirmation that it went through? I already applied to this. Yo, Reaper with 9 months. Thank you so much for 9 months of membership. I love that we finally got a hard, definitive launch date. Now we have something to look forward to. Exactly. Jake, with a 19-month renewal, says, this is perfect. It leaves June wide open for me to know life Diablo. Listen, I'll be honest with you, Jake. I kind of think similarly about this. It's like, this is obviously self-centered, but as a gamer, it's like, bro, now I can play Diablo. Now I can play, Final Fantasy 16. I don't have to worry at all. I don't have to worry at all about where Starfield lands. A $5 tip from TJ Rage. Worst release date of all time. 2 days after Labor Day. Should have just released it on the 5th. I got 1 day to take off to play. That's whack. Well, I mean, they're not concerned with your your schedule. Not to that degree, I don't think. Missed the start. I've been waiting for this. We'll go back to the start. All the best, pal. Thank you, Randall. It doesn't look like the Series S is holding Starfield back, does it? The gameplay in the background looked great. When have I ever... See, everybody keeps moving the goalposts. Even my man Doc Dark just put out a video and said, how is the Series S holding back next gen? That's never been my argument. I've never once been like, yeah, it's holding it back. I said developers are going to have to spend extra time or skip the Series S. That's always been my prediction. I've never said, oh, it's holding games back. More than likely, all this footage that you're seeing, this is all being run vertical slice on a PC. That proves literally nothing. That doesn't prove anything. Look at Cyberpunk on PC at launch for a perfect example as how that literally means nothing. It doesn't prove a single thing because Cyberpunk looked and ran just fine on PC. It ran fine enough to get like a 75% review score, and it ran like dog water on old gen. So just because you can get something to look and run fine, I mean, look, the guy's literally playing on a PC. Look. He's on a PC with a controller. I mean, maybe the Xbox is under the table. They're playing on PCs. That's typically what you do in development. Could have been PC or an Xbox dev kit. I hear that a certain neighborhood Arachnin might swing by on that launch date. Yeah, I did read one article that said, oh, Starfield might have to go toe-to-toe with Spider-Man. I don't think that's a big concern, honestly. I don't think they're in competition with each other. I don't. Thoughts on performance? Everything I saw in this trailer looks great. I think it looks great. I feel like performance looks better. I feel like movement looks better. Gunplay looks better, right? I tried to pin your first. It's not delayed comment. Well, thank you for trying to do that, Goddess. We had somebody on the Tickety Talk claiming that it's not been delayed. Anybody with spec knowledge knows all you have to do is turn down the resolution to gain massive performance. No, there's been multiple... No, that's not true. A developer already spoke to that. That's simply false. Anybody with spec knowledge knows? No. A lead developer at id Software said that's not true. He said that lowering resolution does not give you massive performance changes. That is false. That's a narrative that people run with. If that were true, then you'd be able to optimize every game to run on every system. Just turn the resolution down. Like, it's not that simple. That is so true. According to developers, that's not true. I'm going to go with their authority over yours. There's no way you believe that. I believe the optimization gods at id Software. They got doomed to run native on a Nintendo Switch. They know more than you. The above. You forgot it'll run fine on the Series S counter. I do it myself. You're so wrong. Wow. To claim that all you have to do is lower the resolution is reductionist. That's not all you have to do. That's simply not true. Anytime you lower resolution, yes, you get a significant bump in performance. But that's a reductionist view of development. If you look at all of the games that come out with respect to draw distance, render distance, all the different things they do with texture and lighting, lowering the resolution is not the only solution. That's not all. I was responding to what you originally said. What you originally said was so reductionist. Anybody with spec knowledge knows all you have to do is turn down the resolution to gain massive performance. Your words, not mine. You went on to say, that's all the S has to do. Your words, not mine. You're the one who made a sweeping, reductionist, ignorant statement. Not me. I'm not the one that said it. You did. Did I make you type that? Anybody with spec knowledge, condescending, knows all you have to do is turn down the resolution to gain massive performance. That's all the S has to do. Your words, not mine. Your argumentation, not mine. You're wrong. Developers have already said that's not all you have to do. It's not that simple. It doesn't get you what it used to get you, because they're doing far more in the games now. People commenting about performance without knowledge about how games work. You can't always get better performance by lowering resolution, especially on console. I'm positive that the Series S had the same RAM as the Series X, but just a weaker GPU, we wouldn't be seeing these issues. Literally, one of the lead engine devs from id Software said that. He said it's not the GPU, it's the memory. Like, if you turn down res, you gain performance. Why argue? I'm arguing with something that you said that was ignorant. You said all you have to do is lower the resolution to gain massive performance, and you said that's all they have to do with the Series S. I'm educated enough to know I was probably playing Quake 3 when you were like, I don't know, playing hopscotch. Yes, I know that lowering the resolution gives you an increase in performance. I've literally been playing PC games since PC games were PC games. Like, that's true, but that's not what you said. Like, why would I deny that? Every single tech analysis of games on the Series S lowers res and lowers frame rate. That's not in debate, because that's not what you said. Now you're moving the goalpost. Now you're saying, oh, go test performance on any card, 1080 and 4K, then look at the difference. That was never what I disputed. You're trying to make it seem as if, like, I don't understand basic development because you said something dumb, and now we want to cloud over that. You want to cloud over that. That's not what you said. The reason you got a response from me is because you said anybody with tech knowledge knows all you have to do is lower resolution. That's all they have to do with the Series S. That's demonstrably false, because that's not the only thing they're doing to optimize game for the Series S. I said it's so close to performance that all you have to do is bump down the resolution. That's also false, and you can't possibly know that because you don't know how they're rendering. You don't know how they're handling fog, lighting, textures. You don't know how they're handling any of that. You also have to remember something about Starfield, something that gets thrown into my lap all the time. It is, what's the word people use? Oh my gosh, the items are always there. It is, I can't think of the frickin' word. This is a completely different style of game than many of the other games that you're used to playing, and that's one of the reasons people are okay. I literally had people tell me this. They're like, oh, I'm okay if it's 30 FPS. I'm okay. Yeah, persistent. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. It's a persistent world, which means there's coffee cups you can pick up. There's cheese wheels you can drop down hills. That has an enormous effect on performance. Lowering resolution doesn't automatically deal with any of that. It doesn't. Like, lowering resolution is assumed. That is assumed. When you're optimizing a game for a weaker system, you're going to lower the resolution. That's an assumed thing. That's not all you have to do. That's also not the only thing they're going to do to Starfield. You're presuming that you understand the optimization of, I guess, the entire creation engine and how they've decided to do persistent worlds, NPCs, dynamic creation of quests, dynamic placement of enemies. All of those things have to be able to work on a system with weaker memory. It's not, oh yeah, you just got to lower the resolution. Anybody who takes that position is just showing they don't know what they're talking about. There's like 18 different things they're going to have to look at to make sure, yeah, the memory bottleneck in the Series S, yeah, we're going to have to work around that. Just lower the resolution, bro. Okay, well, we have persistent particles, we have persistent items, persistent enemies, we have NPCs and enemies and quest lines that are going to apparently unfold dynamically. There's going to be true emergent gameplay in Starfield. You've got lighting, you've got textures, you have all of those things. You even have animation. Animation is sometimes tied to frame rate, and if animation's tied to frame rate, they have to consider what enemies are going to look like when they move, what your player's going to look like when they move in third person, because you suddenly have lower frame rate. So, one of the things they can do is lower resolution. You're literally stating something that's so obvious it doesn't need to be stated. The reason we went down this rabbit hole is because you said all they have to do is lower the resolution. Anybody with any tech knowledge knows that's all you have to do. You literally look silly. You just look silly. You're trying to speak condescendingly about your tech knowledge while saying something that's ignorant. Yeah, and here's somebody with development history and development prowess. The memory situation is a big issue on the Series S. The much lower amount of memory and the split memory banks with drastically slower speeds will be a major issue. Aggressively lowering the render resolutions will marginally help, but will not completely. You're taking my comment and creating your own story out of it? You typed that. I'm just quoting you. You seem like somebody who's not used to being challenged on sweeping, unsubstantiated statements. You were the one that spoke condescendingly. You were the one that said all they have to do is lower the resolution. That's all they have to do. That's what you said. You said that's all they have to do on the S. These are your statements. So if you're now backpedaling and conceding, thank you for conceding that you made silly statements that are unsubstantiated and ignorant. You can lower the settings preset from high to medium, but it all depends on how powerful your memory and your CPU are. What I saw in the gameplay in this footage, right? What I saw is a far better performing game than they first showed us, right? So whatever they first showed us was likely older footage. That's common, right? You have marketing stuff put together and it's older footage. That's totally fine. But the stuff that's over Todd's shoulder right now, I felt like you can tell even from that far back, like, wow, the game looks like it's running better. Oh, they're actually gonna take the Starfield Direct is gonna be at Bethesda, so it might be a pre-recorded thing. I don't know if it's necessarily gonna be live. It might be a pre-recorded premiere, which I'm totally fine with. That means we get a very, well-structured showcase instead of like potential technical difficulties or audio, issues and things like that. So I'm totally fine with that. This bro does not like hard challenges and just goes off in self-defense. If you're talking about me, I literally push back on a statement that's unsubstantiated. We've got it screenshotted. Like, if you say something like this, anybody with spec knowledge knows all you have to do is turn down the resolution to gain massive performance. That's all the S has to do. I've got somebody from id Software, id Software, the guys at Doom. He's saying the exact opposite. He's saying aggressively lowering rendering resolution will marginally help. So am I going to go with the guy from id Software? id Software got Doom to run on the Nintendo Switch. They're optimization geniuses. And he's saying that'll marginally help. I'm going to go with his viewpoint on it over someone in chat making a sweeping reductionist statement. Listen, this game is likely going to run fantastic on PC from what we can see. Now, bugs are not what I'm talking about, okay? Bugs are not the issue. Bugthesda, right? We're not getting any not delay people, so I'm going to take that off the screen. Can we get our first couple of members of the day? Let's get some gifted members for the debate, for the fireworks, for the spice. Let's get some members going. Let's get some likes going. Let's get some subscriptions going. I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Yes, this G.I. Joe shirt is from 80s Tees. You can use code LONO, L-O-N-O, code LONO at 80stees.com. You'll get 30% off. God of War, 11 million in 2 weeks versus Skyrim, 30 million in 10 years. Bethesda is niche. Bethesda is niche? Are you being funny? Bethesda's not niche. Bethesda has pull. Look at the viewership their videos get. Like, this thing has over 500,000 views. The video hasn't even been live for a day yet. It's not even live for a day yet. Bethesda has pull. What are you talking about? fuzzy muffin with 15 months and it's a VIP. It's only 10 a.m. It's a little too early for this much popcorn, but Lone Wolf's going to jump in and give us our first member gift of the day. That is 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Silent Warrior, he wants to lopsided. He's like, no, we're not going to get a crisp 555 to the 25. He takes it to 6. Thank you so much. So when does it come out? September the 6th. June 11th is the Starfield showcase. So the Starfield Direct will be on June 11th after the Xbox showcase. It's on a Sunday. That's very similar to what they did last year. They went niche, but now they've lost 40% of their base. What? Bethesda is a big gun. Spencer and Booty need time to destroy it. They weren't niche, but now they have lost 40% of their base. I mean, I'm not going to speak to where they stand now compared to where they once were. As far as I can tell, their game, Starfield, is one of the more anticipated games this year. Now, I wouldn't say it's more anticipated than like Zelda or Diablo 4. The commercial success of Starfield is going to be really hard to establish concretely because so many people aren't going to buy it. They're going to play it, right? They're going to play it. That Remnant thumbnail, oh my gosh, creature, that is beautiful. Like, they're not necessarily going to be able to be like, yeah, here's how well the game did commercially, but I do think Bethesda has massive pull. They are a big dog in the industry. But not final. It's possible. Enter a different email. Yes. I use. There we go. Trying to confirm. I want to get in on this feature. They're launching a new feature for member content on YouTube. Crispy Bogod with 18 months. Lono has his tinfoil hat on today, always talking about vertical slices. I think they are horizontal slices. Changed my mind. Thank you for a year and a half, Crispy Bogod. You the best. You the best. Guys, we are 400 members away from the Just Dance stream. And if you get that by Friday, you're going to be golden. After Friday, it's going to be tough for you. So you got a couple of days to grind it and get it going. We have a couple of goals beyond that, but that's the next big milestone, 400 members away. PlayStation made it next to impossible to mod Fallout or Skyrim, so who was really holding it back? It has much better support on Xbox and PC. But mods are not a part of the equation. A company that doesn't want modded stuff on their platform isn't holding a game back. It's holding back a modding community. That's not holding the game back. I mean, you understand the irony there, right? You do understand the irony of what you're stating. A game was held back because the community couldn't fix it with mods. Like that is so drenched in irony. I could get the wrinkles out of a shirt with that. That's how ironic that is. It's a literal iron. Like, come on. You're not holding a game back. The developers could have made the game better with their own updates and patches. If you need mods, well, they held the game back. They didn't let the mods. Maybe the developer shouldn't have needed mods to make the games better? You know what I'm saying? Is it only single player? Jake Lightning, no need for caps. Yes, it is only single player. 19 months from Dan. Did some little rich girl stomp her feet and run away? Oh, stop it. We don't need to be unkind. If they change Game Pass to tiers, how can this affect people already subscribed? Yeah, what do you guys think about my theory that Game Pass is changing? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay? Where there is smoke, there is fire. The Game Pass is now tucked away. It's now tucked away. It's not front and center in this marketing. It's not on their Twitter. It's not on the trailer. It's not in any of the announcements. Not even from Xbox's own tweets. All of a sudden, Game Pass is tucked away. Now compare that to Redfall. Go look at all the Redfall marketing. Game Pass is in the final frame. Game Pass is in their Twitter profile. Game Pass is in their announcements and their tweets. Why? Why is Game Pass suddenly getting tucked away? I would say that it's It's changing. I would say it's changing. That's all you have to say regarding the sexist comment. How is it sexist to describe her as a little rich girl? I need you to break that down for me. What, is he not supposed to mention the fact she's a girl? Oh, the horror. I'm assuming if you would have said rich boy, it would have also then been sexist. I can't wait for you to educate me on this one. This is going to be great. It's going to be riveting social commentary. It has to change because Microsoft's even making profit. Oh, it has to be changing because it's Microsoft even making a profit on Game Pass. Is anyone playing for more than 3 games per year? Right. Yo, thank you so much for sending a bull. I love you. Thank you so much, Kolb. Love you too. Thank you for the gift. Game Pass is stacked this year. What are you talking about? No, Mark. Listen to me. I'm not saying it's going away. I'm saying they're going to be changing Game Pass. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing smoke, and I think there's a fire. I don't think they're going to get rid of it. I don't think they're going to stop it from being day and date, but I think they are going to make changes to it. I think they'll announce those changes in June. There will be a price increase, likely last quarter of this year, right? Last quarter of this year, I think there'll be price increases. That's not me saying, oh, just Xbox. I think everybody's raising their prices on subscription services this year. I think they're going to make changes to Game Pass before that. Not because I think they're literally shuffling it out of the frame right now. They don't want it to be on people's minds. Yeah, there's Game Pass data coming out. I think they're going to make adjustments. If you think Game Pass as it exists right now is perfect, it's beyond revision or adjustment, come on. You're being silly. Scognatius with a gifted membership. Thank you so much. Like, you're being silly if you think there's no reason to change it. Wolong is a perfect example. 33% of the people that got Wolong on Xbox beat the first boss. Only 33%. 85% beat the first boss on PlayStation 5 and PC. Do you see? Like, and if you look at the revenue reports, if you look at even Microsoft themselves admitting it only makes up 15% of the annual gaming revenue. Phil Spencer literally said, yeah, we've pretty much hit saturation on console. If they've hit saturation on console, and that's only going to be 15% of their annual revenue, I don't think you're going to hear it mentioned nearly as often as we used to. I think it's going to be there. I think it's still going to be a great value. I think it's still going to be well worth purchasing because you get a ton of value for the subscription. I'm telling you, they're going to make changes to it. Why does that matter? Why does actual engagement numbers in the product matter? Like, I don't know, because that communicates value transmission to the consumer. That communicates how customers are using the product. That communicates how people are going to feel about the value they're getting, and it could lead to more churn. If you're seeing big titles not get great engagement on Game Pass, they're sort of thrown over the shoulder, that could be a causality for churn, and churn is bad for subscriptions. That's not a solid correlation. I'm not saying it is a correlation. I'm saying it could be. Listen to the language that I'm using. It could be. It could be. It could be like, yeah, they're going to be looking at it. They're going to be looking at the numbers. People play different types of games. You again, if you think that Game Pass has no changes on the horizon, no evolutions, no adjustments, no feature adds, nothing. It's just going to stay as is. I just think that's naive. I think that's naive. I think it makes perfectly good sense to look at your product and say, hey, we could make some adjustments and changes here. We could make adjustments and changes. We could generate more revenue with this subscription funnel. I think they could foster an ecosystem of purchase. They've already shown how they can foster an ecosystem of purchase. Is there going to be a performance mode? Why are you spamming that? We don't know. We don't know, brother. Spamming like that is not necessary. I wouldn't say it's tucked away. Starfield on Game Pass is still very much front and center. It might be a little odd that Game Pass banner isn't on the recent trailer, but there's trailers from 11 months ago that don't have it either. All I'm saying is, Barrier, there seems to be a very different tone in the recent marketing. Keep in mind, Barrier, I'm talking about the recent marketing. If you look at the recent marketing from Redfall, and if you look at the recent marketing from Starfield, they seem to be different. You're asking a question and threw out Wolong numbers. There's multiple things I threw out, John David, and you're drilling down on one of them. You understand that I'm like painting a big picture. You've got the Wolong numbers. You've got commentaries to the CMA that it's cannibalizing purchases. You've got commentary from Phil Spencer that they've hit saturation on console. You've got commentary to the regulators that it's only going to amount for about 15% of their annual revenue. That's a lot of different points. You want to drill down on Wolong? Go right ahead. What I'm saying is all of that, in my mind, leads me to theorize Game Pass will undergo changes. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything incontroversial. Like, people are like, oh, you don't need to change Game Pass. Like, settle down. Settle down. It's just a prediction based on patterns that I'm seeing. Not only are we seeing, sorry, but you weren't answering me. Yeah, but that's not how you get an answer from me on a subject like that. If you take everything I just said and then you look at the recent marketing, compare the recent trailers, social media posts, and social media profiles of Redfall and Starfield, there's a difference. What that tells me is everything landing before June is under the old rules. June going forward, there's going to be a change in Game Pass. They'll use their Xbox showcase to announce it. I've not said it's a bad thing. I've not said it's a negative thing. I've not said that they're going to take anything away from you. I just think they're going to announce changes to Game Pass in June. That's it. It could be amazing for you. It could be awesome. They could add a bunch of new great stuff. And in the process of doing that, maybe they don't want games constantly stressing Game Pass. Maybe they don't want that. I'll give you a what for. This is less of a what for, but potentially a continuation of a trend. Both Forza Horizon 5 and Redfall are affording you the opportunity of purchasing the Deluxe Edition, and when you purchase the Deluxe Edition, you're going to be able to play the game 72 hours earlier. If they start offering purchase incentives to Game Pass holders, that's an announcement that they could trot out in June. If you're a Game Pass holder, you can buy the game at a discount. I already get a discount if I buy it. Who's doing that? Who's going to the tab that says, install this with Game Pass or buy it for $53.99? Probably very few people are actually clicking on the $53.99. Why would you buy a game that you can install? What I'm talking about is, not only are they going to let you buy the game for $53.99, I've predicted what they could do. This is just a throw-out idea. They could let you play a week early. So you could foster a purchase ecosystem within the subscription ecosystem. So you've got people that buy multiple games a year, right? You've got people who buy multiple games a year, and they might say, I buy lots of games. I don't need Game Pass. That's a feature that would make them get on Game Pass. You've got people on Game Pass that are like, I don't really buy games. Wait, I can get it at a discount and play it a week early? I might actually do that. You'd get a percentage of the existing subscribers to actually start buying games. Now, what that would do is that would change your marketing. You wouldn't want all your marketing to be like, play a day one on Game Pass, play a day one on Game Pass, because that would start to push against the new Game Pass. The new Game Pass would be, there's multiple ways to enjoy games. Enjoy it day and date on Game Pass. Enjoy it early with a discount. Do you see? If they change Game Pass even slightly, the current marketing that we've been seeing, the marketing we were seeing compared with the marketing we're seeing now is an indication that there might be changes coming. That's all I'm saying. I've been on board with Xbox Game Pass since launch. I worked on the insider side as a user for lots of stuff as far as what changes are needed or desired. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with my prediction. I think you're wrong. Maybe a price increase, but no change to day and date. I haven't said they're going to change day and date, so I can't be wrong. I never said there would be a change to day and date. You're not listening. Some of you guys, man, you literally immediately get out the axe and you make yourself look dumb. Stop intentionally tripping on your own 2 feet. I didn't say take away day and date. See how sensitive y'all are? Y'all are sensitive. I said they might make changes to Game Pass, and look where we are. Having a 10-minute argument with people that are like clutching pearls and scared you're going to lose day and date. I didn't say you'd lose day and date. I didn't say that. Lono should be on the payroll. That's a great idea. Yeah, you can still give people day and date, but you could also foster purchase. Imagine 25 million people looking at a storefront that says you can buy Starfield right now for $63 and you can play it a week early. Do you know how many people would do that? Tons of people would do that. Out of your 25 million, if just a couple million people do that, that's so much money that you wouldn't have made otherwise. And then everybody else can wait for day and date. They get their promise of day and date. You get a couple million in sales. You might even get a couple million people to sign up for Game Pass so they can buy the game at a discount and play it early. You're getting both types of consumers. So if they were to make that type of change, you wouldn't lose your day and date, but it would certainly change the positioning of Game Pass. It has nothing to do with your predictions. I'm pointing out that you jump on comments as if we are attacking you. I didn't jump on comments as if I was feeling attacked. You're projecting. I've not once responded as if I'm being attacked. When I feel like I've been attacked, I respond very differently. I tell people to either stop or leave. You're projecting onto me. I did not once indicate that I felt attacked. I pushed back passionately on people being like, well, they would never change Game Pass. I said, with respect, if you think Game Pass isn't going to undergo any changes, evolutions, or iterations, I think you're being naive. And then I outlined a whole spectrum of things that I've noticed, both in the market, both in the commentary from Phil, commentary to CMA, actual statistics, actual numbers. And then I looked at the recent marketing of Starfield, compared it to Redfall, and thought, I feel like there's a change coming. And that's all I said. People who can delay gratification are more successful in life. They use this to make money. Oh, for sure. I would definitely do that. I would do that. I'm on Game Pass, and I would 100% buy a game at a discount to play early. I would do that. Dark Knight with a $5 super chat tip. That is a good idea. Email Phil so we can play Starfield early, brethren. I'm literally LOL. Good thing I'm at home and not at work. I feel like you're having a hard time. You're trying to do that thing where you wanted to get around the fact that I guess you misunderstood my point. I've passionately argued with you. You feel like you've been bested. So now you want to project onto me emotional instability. Like, I'm sorry you felt attacked. Well, if you project onto me an emotional state as if I'm just kind of having an emotional moment, you can distract from the fact that, I kind of won the debate or the argument, and now you're doing the condescending laughing thing, like, ha 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 ha, I'm laughing at this guy, ho ho ho, like, you're having a really hard time. I didn't say that I want and think that it's perfect and doesn't need to change, but your pushback and your frustration, or not your frustration, your pushback and your debate points to me, all I said was, I think Game Pass is changing. That's all I said. I didn't even say if it was changing for the worse. I didn't say if it was changing and being bad or going away. All I said was, I think it's changing. I said, if you look at the marketing, if you look at the stats, if you look at this, if you look at Wolong, I said, I think they're going to be making changes to Game Pass. You and Mark, not Mark Tackman, the other Mark, you guys both presumed and assumed I meant negative things. I meant bad things. That I meant day and date was going to go away. And then when I outlined my position further and showed you that this could be a great thing. Because, listen, my argument on this is consistent in this regard. This is how it stays consistent. I think Microsoft knows they need to raise the price. And what I think their plan is, they bolster Game Pass to make it look different, bigger, better. if they do that before or in conjunction with the price increase, it's more of like a justified thing. Yes, Game Pass pricing is going up, but we're going to give you more. Does that make sense? Like, they're basically saying, hey, we've got to raise the price. Everybody's going to have to raise the price of their subscriptions. If we do it in conjunction with changes and updates, it'll look like we're increasing the value. That would be a smart play in my book. If you just raise the price and make no changes, it's going to be like when Netflix emails you, or like when Hulu emails you, and they're like, yeah, we have to raise our price. This is your new rate. And then that probably leads to churn. That probably leads to a pretty high percentage of churn. People are like, they take out their phone, they're like, I forgot I had Babe, we still have Netflix. Golly. And then they go and cancel it. But if you can say, hey, thank you for subscribing to Xbox Game Pass. Here's all the new things we've launched. Here's how we're making it better. In conjunction with raising our prices, you're going to lower the negative effect. You're going to lower the churn rate. The family sub and additional things are coming down the pipeline that will come with price increases across the board. Sure. And what sent us down this rabbit trail, all I'm saying is, I think in June, I think June is a hinge. Think about it this way. Last year, at the Xbox Bethesda Showcase in 2022, they really, really stressed that the next 12 months, these games over the next 12 months, almost as if in their mind, they're thinking Game Pass and these games and these offerings, this is our strategy for the next 12 months. Well, it hasn't gone that well, right? It hasn't gone that well because the last 6 months of 2022 were pretty quiet for Xbox. And then the first 6 months of 2023 aren't really delivering what everybody was hoping for. Forza Motorsport, it's not coming first half, almost guaranteed at this point. So Forza Motorsport, Redfall, Starfield, and what was the other one? Minecraft Legends. Those were kind of your four big ones. Like, yeah, these ones are coming in the next 12 months. Only 2 of them are going to make it. So if I'm Microsoft, if I'm Xbox, I'm thinking, okay, that 12 months didn't go the way we wanted it. They could be seeing loss of consumers on Xbox Game Pass. They could be seeing churn rates. Again, they had to go to the CMA and they had to talk about the fact that like their internal documents kind of exposed cannibalistic effect on sales. Well, what's that going to do to third-party publishers and third-party developers? You think a third-party publisher and developer is going to see that headline and be like, yeah, let's get on Game Pass? No, they've got a bit of a PR issue. So they could be making a course correction and saying, listen, in June, we come out swinging. We launch new initiatives. We launch new things. We make Game Pass look better. We make Game Pass look more appealing for both people who want to sell games, but also get the promotional footprint of Game Pass, which is a very, very good thing. Let's whip all that up and do that in conjunction with the impending price increase that we know we're going to have to do. Behemoth with 24 months and it's a VIP plus. Hi, Lono. 2 years of amazing content. Thank you, man. Thank you. What's with all the delays, not just in gaming? We're still not out of the shadow of 2020, brother. We're not. I tried to tell people that late last year. I said next year. I said 2023 is when we just start to come out of the shadow of 2020. We're just starting to come out of that shadow. It's just the truth. So many things. It's a ripple effect. It's like, if you ever seen the studies they've done on traffic jams and how like one little accident it just ripples for hours and hours, miles back. That's what 2020 was. 2020 was like a massive car accident on the highway that took time to clean up and adjustments had to be made. Traffic had to be funneled to 2 lanes instead of 5. And it just rippled all the way back. We're still now dealing with that. We haven't gotten all the way out of it. It's like the ripples are finally getting smaller. You know, when like you drop something in the water and the ripples are like, shoo, big, and then they get smaller and smaller and smaller. They're just now getting smaller. What are you recommending changes to Game Pass encompassing? All games no longer free to download on Game Pass or just discounted and trialed instead? I feel like I made it very clear. I mean, I can state it again. You were in chat when I said this. I don't feel like this was difficult to understand. I felt like I made it clear. I'll do it again, though. This is also in my Game Pass Must Change video. I believe they can foster an ecosystem of purchase within Game Pass that would do two things. It would get people on Game Pass to potentially buy more games, and it would get people who buy games to get on Game Pass. There's two types of consumers. I think both would interact with what I'm outlining. You would still do day and date. People who love Xbox Game Pass, hear me. You would still get day and date. There's no reason to break out in a cold sweat and get scared, okay? You're still safe. If your safe word is Game Pass, talk with your therapist, okay? You would still get day and date. You would. But they would give you the discount you already get. You already get a discount when you buy a game on Game Pass. It's like 10% or whatever. So $53.99 or $62.99 depending on the price of the game. So, hey, buy Starfield for $62.99 with your Game Pass discount and play it a week early. Out of the 25 million Game Pass subscribers, a ton of people would do that. There are people right now who are like, I don't do Game Pass. I buy my game. You know what they would say? You're telling me I can buy Starfield discounted by $7 and play it a week early, and all I got to do is sign up for Game Pass? Sign me up, baby. So you'd have people jumping into Game Pass. You'd have people within the Game Pass ecosystem already buying the game. I said this moments ago, crystal clear. Like, I don't see how that's confusing. I'm asking all games on Game Pass are only new releases. Oh, I don't know, Solemn. I'm not getting down into the minutia. What I'm saying is, if they put a big release on Game Pass, doing that with it would benefit them greatly. Doing that would benefit them greatly. Because think about it. If you're going to get $7 off of Starfield and Game Pass is $10, that first month practically pays for itself, and you get the game a week early. And what Microsoft could bank on is people will forget. They'll just stay on Game Pass. Or maybe next month they'll realize, hey, Game Pass isn't that bad. Not only do I get discounts on the games that I know I really want to buy and play early, but I can also try out all these other games. Do you see how that would be really sticky? That would be a multi-featured subscription funnel. Do you want to know why your cable company always says, hey, we'll give you a huge discount if you get a home phone? And you're like, what the fuck is a home phone, right? Like, what is a home phone? But they want you to get that home phone because it's harder for you to switch services when you get all things wrapped up under one. So if you looked at Game Pass and you didn't see it as like this churn and burn subscription funnel, yeah, I'm going to sign up for Game Pass, try out these new games, then I'm going to cancel. That's not good for Microsoft. If you saw it as a more fully encompassing value to you, I get to try a bunch of games, I get to buy games at a discount and play them super early. This is wonderful. I don't want to ever get off Game Pass. It would be more sticky. You'd be less likely to cancel because there's always something. See, if Microsoft could nail a cadence of game release along with those changes, buddy, you'd never want to leave. Every other month, you'd have a game you want to buy and play early. You'd also have every other month of like maybe the smaller titles that are worth trying. Do you see? You would never want to leave. That's the trick. Getting people with a massive $7 off roped in, $180 a year per subscription, stupid and effective. But that's the thing, Derek. If you paired it with game cadence releases, it would be amazing. If you're buying a game every other month because Microsoft's hitting a better cadence of delivery, imagine that you're really excited about both Forza Motorsport and Starfield. But imagine if there was actually 2 more games releasing at that sort of cadence of like every other month or something. Well, you would just stay on Game Pass. You're like, it's too much of a hassle to cancel. I'll just stay on. I'll buy those games at a discount. I'll get to play them a week early, and then I can try games in the months in between. They're already testing it out, I think. If you buy Redfall Deluxe Edition, you get in 72 hours early. They did this with Forza. I think they could do it with Starfield. So what sent us down this super long rabbit trail is I think changes are coming to Game Pass. And some of my ideas are things that they could do. Forcing someone to sub for $9.99 to get a $7 discount on the game to play it early. Why not just charge them $9.99 on the game price to play early like they do right now? Paul, what I'm describing is a way to make Game Pass look really, really valuable. I'm not trying to just give somebody early access. Eugene says, I bought PlayStation Premium and I barely use it. Why? Because the on-demand features for when I do use it, it's only $5 more a month for me. That's right. That's exactly right, like the game trials. I've used the game trials on PlayStation Plus Premium probably every other month. I just stay on it because I don't have to think about it. I just go in, new games, let me try them out. There's new games, let me try them out. Like, it's just there. Xbox could do the same thing. Another game coming out, I can buy it at a discount and I can play it early. Another game coming out, I can try it. I don't have to buy it. Forza Horizon 5 wasn't buying the full game. It was only paying the upgrade price to the deluxe edition. No, that's not true. You were buying the deluxe edition. You weren't just paying for the deluxe edition upgrade. You were buying the full game. That's simply not true. It was 72 hours of early access buying the deluxe edition of Forza Horizon 5. You weren't just paying the difference. That's not true. Looking forward to Starfield? So am I. I think if they made it so you still had to buy every single game that comes on Game Pass, regardless of when it was released, it'd kill the whole thing before you could change the consumer base. You are fundamentally, for the second time today, misunderstanding me, Solemn. This is hurting my brain. I didn't say that you would replace it. I specifically shouted, you would still get day and date. I've said nothing to indicate that they would make you buy games instead. I don't know why you're saying that. It's kind of frustrating to see such willful ignorance. Like, I didn't say that. I practically screamed that day and date wouldn't leave. So I don't know what you're contesting. You also get Xbox. I paid whatever it was, $35 at disc. No, I did, bro. If you had Ultimate, you got early access regardless for Horizon 5. He's correct. We paid the difference. So wait, let me understand this. You had Game Pass. You went to the Forza Horizon game in the store, and you paid the difference. Instead of $99... discounted down to $90 or even $40, it was 10% off the upgrade price. So you literally only paid the difference, and they still applied your Game Pass discount. I did not know that. You could just buy the upgrade. Okay. So can you do the exact same thing for Redfall? So yeah, see, they're already testing it. They're already baking that in. That's even closer. That's even closer to what I'm suggesting than I thought. I thought you had to buy the whole deluxe edition at the full price to get in early. If you only have to pay the difference, they're already slightly doing what I'm talking about. You got to get a discount on the deluxe edition and get in early. Why? Game Pass. Don't you see? They're this close to doing what I'm talking about. All you got to do now is give them a little bit more. I would say I think a week early is better. I think a week early would be great. And then you give them the discount. They buy the game for like, $53 or whatever. I am listening. Day and date is just when it comes to Game Pass. You said you didn't know if only new releases are all games. You should have to pay for in response to me, and my message was in response to that. Solemn, when I say day and date, that's referring to the release date. Do you know that, right? This can't be happening. Am I actually doing this? I'm educating you on what day and date means. Day and date is just when it comes to Game Pass. Day and date means the release date. That's what it means. This is confusing to me. I made it crystal freaking clear. I said day and date wouldn't go anywhere. They would still put all their big major releases, all their big first party games that they promised to you day and date. You'd get them day and date. What's the date have to do with paying for it, though? I swear to frick, I feel like some of you guys do this on purpose. Bro, I have been so painfully clear. So painfully clear. I could explain this to my kids and they would get it. What is happening? I gave an example with Starfield. You would still get the game on day and date. The day it releases. Play it. You don't have to buy it. But if you wanted to buy it with your discount, you could get in a week early. That's so easy to understand. You're not creating some new question for me to answer, bro. Golly, it's exhausting when smart people waste my time. You're too smart for this misunderstanding. You're not some drive-by guy who's bleeding green. I don't understand what's going on. I've made it so painfully clear. Starfield's not going to be on Xbox? What? Look at the Outer Worlds upgrade. You have to own the game to be able to buy the upgrade. Game Pass owners can't get the upgrade. I think things like that will be more common. Are we sure that's not a bug, Eugene? Are we sure that's not a bug? That can't be how that's supposed to work. That can't be how that's supposed to work. I honestly don't understand the Game Pass hate. It's a monthly game subscription, no more, no less. Either pay or don't. What is this? Oh, day and date release meaning. Yeah, that's why I don't understand the confusion. The release of a film on multiple platforms, most commonly theatrical and home video, on the exact same day. When I think of day and date, I think of spending the day... Oh, gosh. Easy example of MLB The Show. Can pay $40, get early access a week early, or $0 and do it day and date. Already something they're starting to implement. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's why it's so painful. I'm like, they're already doing it. They're doing it even closer to my suggestion than I thought. I did not know that you could just pay the difference on Forza Horizon 5, and apparently you're going to be able to pay the difference on Redfall. You just pay the difference, get the deluxe edition, and get in 72 hours early. I'm still playing Hogwarts, yes, just off stream. I'm not always in when you discuss your Game Pass takes. I worked the whole day, you're streaming, so maybe I missed the distinction. So what you're saying is they should change it to paying for it if you want early access. Or that's it. That's exactly right, Solemn. Okay, there we go. Whew. We were so... I don't know what was happening there. We were on such different wavelengths. Yes, 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 yes. You would get the people that love buying games, and you would get people on Game Pass that would love to get in super early. You'd get both people buying games, and you would still maintain that subscription value ecosystem of you can play Starfield on September the 6th. but I can play it on what would that be? Let's just do a test case with Starfield. I would play it on August the 30th. I would buy the game for $63, and I would get to play it on August the 30th because I have Game Pass. Do you see? You give the purchasing consumer value on Game Pass, just like the person who doesn't want to purchase a bunch of games. This should change to what they're already doing. No, they're not already doing it. I believe they're testing it. I think the reason they did that with Forza and the reason they're doing it with Redfall is they're testing it. I think they're trying to see how people respond. Because what they could do is they could make it a clear Game Pass value. Because truth be told, Mark, the early access on Forza Horizon 5 and Redfall, that's not a Game Pass thing. It isn't. It's not tied to Game Pass. That's tied to the game. Why? Hogwarts did the same thing. Tons of games are doing that right now. Pre-order or you buy deluxe, you get in 72 hours early. That's becoming a thing. The fact that they let you just pay the difference with Game Pass is me saying, oh yeah, they're already kind of testing it out. What I'm saying is they would walk out and specifically state to you a new feature that we're bringing to Xbox Game Pass, early access. Tell me more, Bob. Well, I will. Early access is a feature made affordable to the people who want to buy a game to jump in as early as possible. If you'd rather wait and play it on day and date, you can do that, and you spend no extra money. That's what I'm talking about. They would literally walk out and say, this is a new feature of Game Pass. What they're doing right now is nothing. It's not tied to Game Pass. Game developers are just saying, you can play the game 72 hours early if you buy our collector's edition. It's not testing anymore. Forza Horizon 5 had the biggest revenue of any Forza game, so it works. Sure, like if they're looking at Forza, I don't think it's going to have a big dent on Redfall. I don't think Redfall is going to have as big of a desire for people to do that. It'll probably be way, way less significant. But I'm telling you, man, can you imagine how many people would frickin' buy Starfield to play it a week early? I hate the early access stuff, though, just monetizing FOMO. The last 5 minutes could have been avoided by Lono. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Please clarify. Well, but he did, and I did clarify. That's why I was kind of confused. I was like, I thought I made it crystal clear. I'll do it again. I did it again, and I was confused as to why we still didn't see eye to eye on it. I'd pay $100 to play Starfield early. Oh, I don't know if a lot of people would pay $100, but for sure. Like, we're talking, unfortunately, we're not talking about Starfield. We're talking about Game Pass. We're supposed to be talking about Starfield. Like, I had a lot of different things I outlined in my talk. I think we need to kind of bring things back to Starfield. Because I think some of you guys come in and you're wound so tight about certain Xbox things that you drag us down into debates about things that just don't matter. Like, we didn't need to spend that amount of time on Game Pass. Like, I asked the question, what do you guys think about my theory? What do you guys think about my tinfoil hat theory about Game Pass changing? I certainly started the conversation. I didn't think we were going to end up debating it as long as we did. I think Starfield marketing points to Game Pass changes. That's kind of how we got here, right? What do you think about the timing of the showcase, June, and then the September release date? Do you think this lines up with some of the leaks that we saw? We saw leaks, Bethesda wants more time. Bethesda does not want to launch the game in June. So, recap the miscommunication, please. No. They don't want to, Bethesda doesn't want to launch the game in June. They want more time. Does this at all corroborate that in your mind? Are we seeing the results of that? Like, hey, we ain't making June, man. We need a little bit more time. Because I, for one, was in support of that. When I saw that rumor, and then the same rumor that came out that, like, Redfall was having internal problems, and they delayed till May internally, and then Redfall came out in May, I started to get worried. I was like, well, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna end up with Starfield getting shoved out in June before it's ready. It's gonna be competing with Diablo. It's gonna be competing with Final Fantasy 16. Outside of here, I hear nothing about Redfall. Yeah, I don't think the interest is very strong. Yo, Nova Hands jumping back in as a member. Guys, thank you so much for smashing the like button and the subscribe button today. I hope you've enjoyed the talk and the debates. We're going to keep discussing it. We're going to keep chopping it up. We're talking now about the timing of the showcase and the timing of the Starfield release date. And we're 7 members on our member goal out of 25. You can hit that $sign at the bottom of chat if you want to gift a member. You can do that now on mobile. You can also do one at a time. You don't have to do the big bombs that people drop. I don't think we'll ever know what is still broken and what will be fixed in September versus June. Well, I'm not asking for specific speculation about what will be broken and what won't. I'm just wondering if you think, does this corroborate all those claims? So now that's 2 leaks that have been vindicated twice now after being crapped on by more prominent leakers. Right, Eugene? Right? Like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, these guys that have the inside track, man, they're awfully quick to dunk on leaks. And then those leaks are now coming true. It's like, oh yeah, Redfall had trouble, internally delayed to early May. There you go. Starfield is still having trouble, and Bethesda doesn't want to launch in June. They would like some extra time. Starfield comes out in September. It obviously wasn't front and center, but the gameplay looked good. I will 100% agree with you. I think the Starfield gameplay in the background looked phenomenal. It looked so good. I loved it. I was like, okay, things are looking better. Gameplay's looking smoother. The shooting, the movement, all of it. I think it all looks great. Did Starfield look like it was 60 FPS to you yesterday? There was gameplay. This opening gameplay means nothing. I don't know why people were running. I literally saw somebody tweet this opening section and say, Starfield in 60 FPS, baby. And I'm like, why are you already spreading propaganda? This trailer doesn't prove anything about 60 FPS. The gameplay in the background, I do think that it looked 60 FPS at times. There are people that are smarter than me said it looked like a variable 60 FPS. But the problem with that is they're all playing on PCs. They're all playing on PCs. So it's like, what's the point? Who cares? Who cares? Like, if they're playing on some beefy PC, that doesn't mean anything for my Series X. My Series X is sitting in my living room right now, and whatever they're playing on doesn't mean a thing to me. When are we going to stop giving any credence to some of these Xbox-centric creators? Yeah. I saw people screeching on Twitter about it's not a delay, and then I saw that tweet, and I'm like, man, you guys can't even take a win gracefully. You can't even take a win gracefully. This trailer, this announcement, the Starfield official launch date announcement, this is a win, and you guys can't even take it gracefully. You look like a bunch of morons. I thought it got delayed again. It did get delayed again. It's coming out in September. That's a delay. Like everybody kept telling me first half of 2023, Lono. First half of 2023, bro. It's on the Bethesda help page. It's confirmed by the Bethesda help page. You can't come in here and get up my nose about I had a video. Let me find it. Looks like the dude on the couch is holding a controller. And? Okay, that doesn't mean anything. I play on my PC with a controller all the time. Right here. You see this one right here? Starfield release date coming soon. Starfield release date changed. That was a month ago. And when I ran that story, because they had changed the date in Steam, bro, I got so much hate. People are like, bro, I don't even know why you're talking about this. It was confirmed, right? It was confirmed on the Bethesda help page. First half of 2023. The release date hasn't changed, bro. And those same people, those same types of people are now being like, it wasn't delayed. There was no release date. Those same people. So that's why I didn't want to make that the focal point of today. I didn't put it on my thumb. I didn't put it on my title. It's in my show open. But I basically said, I don't want to debate this with people because it's a stupid debate. You're just being dishonest. You're just showing you lack integrity and you don't even have enough self-respect to just be honest and say, yes, this is another delay. This is hopefully good news. This is likely good news. In the grand scheme of development and what we know about games, this is likely good news. So that's why I was like, I didn't even want delay on the thumbnail because I knew what it was going to pull into the chat. Right? We ended up debating Game Pass, which is fine. I think that was a good debate and a good discussion that is related to Starfield, at least tangentially. I can't play FPS games on mouse and keyboard anymore. Controllers used to feel unnatural in the OG Halo days. It's much more natural and fitting. Yeah, I'm always on controller for the most part. Very specific games I'll play mouse and keyboard. Three-month delay, I'll take it. Yeah, I was a month off. I was a month off in my predictions. I said we're going to get a June showcase and 10/10/23 is the release date. Because I was like, listen, if it comes out second half of the year, they're not going to want to do a showcase in like April. They like the marketing windows to be short. D-Tom, a member for 18 months. I'm happy they delayed it. It makes me hopeful for a polished game. Regarding Game Pass, I think paying the difference is the better proposal. Yeah, but the problem with that, D-Tom, is if it's always paying the difference, it only works for people who want collector's editions or ultimate editions. Do you know what I'm saying? Those of you that watch on the Tickety Talk, I have not interacted with you guys very much today. The best way to interact with me and support me is to go to my profile and click on the link to go to Reforge Gaming on YouTube. You can become a member. The more often you watch on YouTube, you might get a gifted member. We've already had 7 gifted members today. If we hit 25 members on the day, I gift 5. Personally, I didn't see any of the normal Xbox influencers saying it wasn't a delay. I saw some weirdos who I don't even know saying that. They are easily ignored. Right, but I saw a pretty prominent Xbox influencer saying, you know, Starfield 60 FPS, baby, based off of a trailer that's likely footage on a vertical slice of a PC. And it's like, don't do that. What if you're wrong? You're basically setting up your audience to get really angry if the game comes out and doesn't have a 60 FPS performance mode. They're like, well, the trailer misled us. No, the content creator misled you. Dark Knight with a $5 tip. One thing I would like to see is more gameplay on the Series S. It should start being shown at showcases. It's a good console. It's just the RAM. I would love to see gameplay on all of the systems it's going to land on. I don't think we're going to get that, though. Haven't even shown it on the Series X. New drinking game. Take a shot every time Lono says dishonest debate fanboys Series S. Take 2 shots for that one. Guaranteed to get alcohol poisoning. Guaranteed that side swipes like that aren't welcome. They're not. Some of y'all, I just think some of y'all need to find a new place to hang out. I do. I mean that deep. I mean that deep. Some of y'all just need to find a new place to hang out. Like Mark, the guy this morning that said, countdown to how fast we get a biased Xbox slander. Find a new place to hang out. Take your membership with you. Lewis, if you're going to come in and take side swipes with me, don't become a member ever again and don't come back. I don't want you getting a gifted membership. I don't want you here. You need to find a new place to hang out. You're not welcome. You're not welcome here. I'd rather my viewership and audience shrink to not have to put up with you. Not you, Tackman. Not Mark Tackman. Maxwell with a 5 spot. The dev was 100% playing on a PC. Look at the Xbox on the table. The system is turned off. I'm just having fun. It didn't seem like it. It didn't seem like it. The words that you picked out, that didn't seem like a joke. I'm tired of it. Because some of y'all make it seem like that's okay. Like, I got a guy in my chat with a purple badge, right? I'm not even live streaming yet. Mark with the purple badge. In my chat, before I go live, saying, countdown to how long we see a biased Xbox slander. Man, seriously, with meaning and intent in my heart, leave. If it's the same one I'm thinking, that particular person was with Bethesda this week, so I'd be curious if they know something from that. I mean, he went to a Redfall capture event. He knows nothing. There's no way he went to a Redfall capture event and they're like, hey bro, on the Lono, Starfield 60 FPS. He retweeted the trailer because the trailer has 60 FPS footage in it. I was just having fun. If you were just having fun, Lewis, that's fine. You got to make that more clear. Mark was definitely not joking this morning, so maybe I'm taking it out on you, Lewis, but I'm tired of that. I'm tired of people coming in who are long-standing community members taking swipes at me. That's just such a bad vibe. You create a vibe when you do that. It's like people see the badge. They see those names every day, and they're like, man, these guys are in here taking shots at him. I took it as more of a swipe at chat. Well, if Mark was swiping at chat, fine, but that still creates a terrible vibe. That creates some condescending, judgmental vibe. Like, yeah, I'm in here with a 6-month membership badge, and I can't wait for the chat to start throwing out biased Xbox slander. What the frick? What are you doing? That's still a bad look. Thank you, Kenneth, for 9 months. Good morning, Lono and chat. I'm excited and hopeful the game will be as fun and as promising as it could be with all the time that they've had with it. I hope the same thing, Kenneth. Definitely more of a chat. Maybe definitely more of a shot at chat than the host. I still don't want that. Oh, you're talking about Lewis, Eugene. I think that vibe has got to stop. Like, y'all can't come in and do that. Like, you set the stage for, like, yep, gonna be a bunch of BS, gonna be a bunch of bias, gonna be a bunch of slander, whether it's in chat or for me. That's not helpful. That's not conducive. I like to have conversations and debates, and you're acting like we're just gonna get a bunch of nonsense, either for me or the chat. That's not helpful. I almost banned him this morning. Not Lewis, Mark. Cleo with a $5 tip. The first company to strike a deal with Valve to have Game Pass or PlayStation Now exclusive on Steam wins. 120 million users, so much potential growth. Steam has no interest in doing any of that. Steam is a leviathan, and they are pretty anti-competitive in their contracts. I can't see Steam doing anything with Microsoft or PlayStation like that. Can we move on? You're letting them derail the show by constantly talking to them. That's on you. You know what's on me? Is not letting you talk. I don't like you either. You were in here yesterday being awful and annoying. Awesome shirt, thank you. Kylie with a month subscription. Been quiet in here for years. Still great content. Glad to see things going so well for you, sir. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Kylie. Awesome shirt. You can get this one at 80s Tees. Use code LONO. Thank you, Chapter 8, for upgrading to VIP. Sony's storefront is on Steam. Right, so you can buy games. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, Sony's storefront is there so you can buy games. They don't... What I was pushing back on is Steam has no interest in putting PS Plus on Steam or Xbox Game Pass on Steam. Why would they do that? They want you buying games. Steam doesn't want Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was pushing back on. Like, you can go to Steam right now and you can buy Wolong. You can buy God of War. They don't want a subscription service, because the subscription money would mostly go to Sony, and then you're just playing games for free in Steam from their perspective. You're just using their bandwidth and their servers to download games, of course. I love your Cobra Tea. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think that would work. I haven't come through for streams in a while. Just want to see what the vibe was for the announcement. Want to hear your insights. Right. Listen, I'm not trying to chin shot people. I'm pretty tough. I can take hate and criticism. I'm trying to protect the vibe of the stream. I can't constantly have to tell people, hey, please don't make nasty comments about the chat or me. And creatures just ban them. I don't want to ban them. I would rather be like, hey man, shape up or ship out. I would rather have you here contributing to the conversation than taking swipes at me in the chat. I don't want to just automatically ban a purple badge or someone like Lewis. I'd rather man, shape up or ship out. We're trying to have a convo here, not take swipes. Right? And you're like, oh, I was just joking. Yeah, but a joke can be a swipe. Trying to pop my back. I can't get to do it. Oh. What if I told you Game Pass is on PC? Why do I need to do it in Steam? Right, but what he was proposing, Butters, was the first person to approach Steam and broker a deal with Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, they would stand to make a bunch of money. My pushback wasn't, oh, they wouldn't make a bunch of money. My pushback was Steam would have no interest in that. You're right. Yeah, they would make a ton of money. Can you imagine being a Steam user and seeing all those Sony games on PS Plus and being like, I can pay for PS Plus and just install all those games for free and try them out for a while? They would sign up in a heartbeat, and Steam would be sitting there thinking, well, that was incredibly dumb of us. We didn't get much of that money, and we would have gotten sales on a lot of those games. Do you see what I'm saying? You need to gut check everyone lately. Streaming has been pretty toxic when I come to Xbox or PlayStation. Major turnoff. I don't think it's been toxic. I think sometimes we get stuck in ruts, but I don't think your assessment that it's been toxic is a fair one. It hasn't been toxic. Toxic would be people being nasty and, throwing out insults and name calling. We ban those people. Those people don't even make it 5 seconds into the chat. Did they announce a release date for Starfield? They did. This trailer came out yesterday, and it was Starfield showcase date. They're calling it Starfield Direct, and then it was Starfield release date. Those are the two things. I'm saying it's irrelevant to the PC convo. Also, I don't think some realize Game Pass is on PC. Oh, I see what you're saying. They don't even realize it's there. Right. Yeah, I mean, I would say that most people on Steam, though, wouldn't care that it's there. They don't like leaving Steam. There you go. September the 6th, 23. There's your release date. Yo, Super Gaming. I've not seen you here in a while, Super Gaming. Super Gaming just gifted 5 members, taking us to 12. I'm calling it now. You guys are not getting your Just Dance stream. It is not happening. Y'all talked a big game last week. Thank you very much, Super Gaming. Lance and not Mark Techman, ARXR, AFELS, Adrian, and Jamie. Y'all got gifted membership. What's Game Pass? It's a subscription service on the Xbox ecosystem that gives you a bunch of games that you can play. That games get added to it every month. And sometimes games leave it as well. That person might genuinely not know what Game Pass is if they only play PC games. I don't know. I tried to see some takes last night. Some of the takes from content creators were odd. I couldn't wait for a coherent discussion this morning. I thought the show open was good. I thought our Game Pass discussion was good, even though many people might have tuned in and been like, I thought this was going to be about Starfield. I basically walked through establishing, yes, this is a delay. Thank you for sending the love you, Kolb, over here on the Tickety Talk. Oh, you were kidding. Super Gaming with 6 months renewal. I'm here daily, still been busy with work, so mostly just lurking. Well, thank you for the lurking, and thank you for the Member Plus subscription. I appreciate that. I talked about how it's a delay and it's good. Then I talked about how I think the new gameplay footage is very promising. I saw nothing but good things in the gameplay. Yes, it was over people's shoulders on monitors and stuff, but I thought that the gunplay looked better. I thought the movement looked better. I loved how they transitioned from like first person to third person. I kind of defended Todd Howard because some people were misrepresenting his comments. I saw headlines that was like, you know, Todd Howard is surprised by how big Starfield is. No, he's not. That's dumb. That's not what he said. And then the timing of the showcase and the release, I talked about that, how that's like, you know, I think that's good. I think that's been good. And then I talked about what about Game Pass, because the Game Pass, you know, was absent from the trailer. So, I don't care much about Game Pass. I'm buying the games I want. Right, and I use some of the recent Starfield marketing to say I actually think there's a change coming to Game Pass because I don't see it being as much of a focal point. First of all, it wasn't a delay. I'm not taking the bait, Abe. It never had a set day. I know they said first half of 2023, but which calendar are they using? Which fiscal year? Mayan calendar? Hey, Quintar coming in. Hang on, let me pause this because I did want to look at some of the gameplay with you guys. It's going to take us to 22. Thank you so much, Quintar. Dropping a big 10 bomb on chat. Said, listen, man, we got to get this Just Dance stream. It goes to Horizon, Carlos, Stealth Gaming, Randall, Cheers Love, Cambino, Nemesis, Mamba, and JFell, and Megadeth Mayhem. Mark says, I used to watch you back when you did D2. Started watching again recently, and I just hear so much Game Pass hate for no apparent reason. I didn't mean to offend you. Falsely summarizing my content doesn't offend me. I think that it's annoying and dishonest. I don't get offended. I'm not some Karen on Twitter clutching my pearls. I don't, if you're summarizing that I have so much Game Pass hate, I don't know what you're talking about. I literally have a stream about how they could make Game Pass better. I don't hate on Game Pass. Again, like, I don't get offended like, oh, can't believe you said that. It's like, don't falsely summarize my content. False summaries of people and what they do is incredibly irritating. Especially in light of my history. I get very triggered by false summaries. Like, when have I hated on Game Pass? I have my concerns about it. I have criticisms about its ecosystem and what it does to the hive mind of gamers, and we've seen evidence that it's having a negative effect on certain things. What did Creature say? Creature said, I was disappointed in all the people that ran with a delay as their lead. I mean, if I was playing the YouTube game and I was trying to get somebody to click on a 10-minute video, the delay is the click. That's what people are going to click on. I have to have a discussion with people. I have to go into the live environment, and I don't want to go into the live environment and debate with people that are like, it's not a delay. I have zero desire to talk to those people. It's a waste of energy. They have no integrity. They're dishonest. They don't even have enough self-respect to admit just basic facts. I was like, I don't want to do that. If I was just doing a 10-minute upload, yeah, I would have run probably with a delay. I'd have been like, and I would have done a positive video. I'd have been like, listen, this is a delay and this is good news. This is exactly what we were hoping for. We were hoping that the game got enough time for them to make it good. So, like, I get why a lot of them are running with the delay. Now, I don't know if they're running negative videos. I wouldn't have run a negative video. I'd have been like, this is a good thing. Yo, a $10 tip from Black Ant. Star Citizen is what this game wishes it was. Just buy the real thing now and don't settle for a console limited version. Or hang with me here. people can buy whatever the frick they want. I mean, if you think Star Citizen is great, awesome. This game's not setting out to be Star Citizen. That's completely and utterly subjective opinion. Drufus says, I'll be honest, as a Game Pass player since day one, I barely buy games anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like, I actually think that's a bad ecosystem. I don't think that's a healthy ecosystem to foster. Thank you for the gifted. Love your content. Always creeping in the background while I work. Thank you very much, Carlos. Unlike Star Citizen, Wheezy says, this game will actually release. Watch this scene right here. Do you see that? Look how many guns he has equipped. Did you see that? Look. Hang on. I'll try and get it. Look at that. He's got 3 down, 3 right, 2 up, 3 left. Now, I know somebody's going to say, oh, that's like Fallout. You can equip a ton of stuff. I know. We just haven't seen it in action yet. I actually think the gunplay in this looks better. I think the gunplay and the movement looks better. It's so hard to tell because it's over his shoulder. That shot right there, man. That running through the green. This shot right here. Man. Yeah, he's not using the dev kit. The dev kit's off, the Xbox. If that's even an Xbox dev kit, that could be an old one. I can't tell. We got dinosaurs. We got trees. That is dense. This obviously is his inventory because it says it right there. And he's in helmets right here. It says helmets, and then, switching between the helmets. And the stats look like stats over here. And here, unfortunately, this person doesn't shoot their gun at all. They throw a grenade and they get attacked, and that's it. I want to see some gunplay. Like, I want to see up close gunplay. Starfield's starting to look really good now. Yeah, like, sadly, it's just a big giant tease. Like, the video is just a big giant tease, but I do think that it's looking good. It really is. You can hide the helmet. Yeah, I mean, I would assume more and more games are letting you do that now. They're letting you hide the helmet because I think they just know. Like, I think people naturally want to do that. They want to be able to just look at their character that they designed. Like, that's always a thing in games, right? Like, you spend a ton of time getting your character looking exactly how you want, and then you never see their face, right? From that point on, you always have a helmet on. I actually usually like having a helmet on. The helmet stays on. I'm an Xbox guy. I used to hate Sony because they never brought back Bloodborne to PC. Or brought Bloodborne to PC. Yeah, the Bloodborne thing is a perfectly good reason to be angry at Sony. People are saying that it's not a delay because Bethesda didn't say next 12 months. Why would anybody say that? Bethesda officially tweeted. Like, I don't understand why somebody would say that. That actually makes them look more dumb. I don't understand why anybody would entertain such a lack of integrity, such a lack of honesty and self-respect. Like, you don't have enough respect for yourself to just speak the truth. Like, you just look stupid. Like, why voluntarily look like an idiot? I do not understand. They officially tweeted that both Starfield and Redfall had been delayed to the first half of 2023. Those are official Bethesda announcements, not some image from an Xbox showcase with a vague date down in the corner. Not some random blog post that says, we're hoping to get the game out first half of 2023. Like, it's an official post from them. I can't find it on their Twitter because they've posted so many Fallout things. Let me just go to Google. Bethesda, Twitter, Starfield, delay. I mean, you can't get any more official than this. You can't get any more official than this image. Like, people that are claiming that the image of like, oh, coming to Xbox and PC over the next 12 months. Oh, Bethesda didn't say that. No, Bethesda went further than saying the next 12 months. They didn't even go generic. They went specific. They said, we've made the decision to delay the launches of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. Not only that, I had people telling me, they were like, man, I don't know why you're talking about the release date moving. Starfield's release date's been confirmed by the Bethesda help page. And I'm like, so you have people claiming that. They're like, oh, it's been confirmed by the Bethesda help page because the Bethesda help page said first half of 2023. You've got the tweet. You've got the image. I don't understand. It's just easier to not be beholden to a narrative. Like, it's so much easier to not be beholden to a narrative. Like, you literally just say, yep, it's been delayed. And that's a good thing, or that's a bad thing, wherever you land on it. Do you really believe this release date? I think so. Do you want to know why I believe the release date? This is going to sound really weird. I believe the release date because this trailer, no one says the release date. I didn't know they tweeted that, but I was saying they never gave a date. It doesn't matter if you don't give a date. If I tell you the game's coming out in 2023, and then I come to you and say, hey, we actually have to launch the game in 2024. What would you call that? What would you call that? I tell you it's coming out in 2023. I don't give you a date, but I say, yeah, game's coming out in 2023. And then 4 months into the year, I'm like, no, we're actually going to have to launch the game in 2024. You would call that a delay. You would call that a delay. You would say, oh, it's not coming out in 2023. It's coming out in 2024. Preacher says, this actually feeds my doubt. No one spoke it. I'm going to tell you why nobody spoke it. This was recorded before they knew the release date. That's why I'm confident in the release date. That means the Starfield release date is a very, very new development. This is a brand new development. This video was recorded, edited, filmed, and put together before there was a release date. That might sound counterintuitive. That's why I trust the release date, because it's the newest thing. None of this is new. This is all old. They filmed this probably at the beginning of this year. This was probably this might have even meant to be out earlier than it was, and all of that got shoved back and delayed. So that's why I said it's going to sound weird for me to say this, but the fact that nobody in this video says the release date is the reason I trust the release date, because it is a very recent development. They literally just decided probably a week or two ago what the release date was going to be. Dan with a $5 tip. I owe a 5 spot. I bet that John David would be banned this stream. No, he came back around. He's been totally fine ever since we butted some heads. Yeah, that right there, that shooting right there looked so much better to me. I still want to see it full screen, though. People said Starfield was releasing in March. Now those people are saying Starfield releasing in September means Hellblade 2 is releasing in November. Andrew, those people are just not paying attention to reality. Hellblade, Ninja Theory just released a trailer recently. They released a trailer just recently saying that they're doing mocap. They're doing mocap. Like, go to Ninja Theory's YouTube channel. He shot 3 bullets. It's the ADS, it's the recoil, it's the movement of the gun. It doesn't look nearly as stiff as the footage we've already seen, Trill Troll. It just immediately looks more fluid. Like, it stuck out like a thumb to me. I was like, that looked a lot more fluid than what we've seen up to now. I'm not saying it's like light years better. I'm like, that looked better than the dadgum gameplay they released last year. It looked super stiff. The footage looks imposed upon the screen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. There's no way Hellblade's coming this year. Ninja Theory literally released a video recently. Like, they're like doing like mocap and stuff. There's no way that dadgum game is coming out this year. They had not, I'm going to continue to stress this point. In the summer of 2021, they had not yet entered full development. If you think they built Hellblade 2 in a matter of, let's see, let's just say as soon as the CEO got done saying that like a month later they entered full development. That means the game would have been built in 2 years. 2 years, because that would have been summer of 2021 to last year to this year's summer. That's 2 years. That's ridiculous. There's no way. There's no way the dev cycle on Hellblade 2 with Ninja Theory's size. No, there's no way. 2-year dev cycle on that game. 3 years minimum. Minimum. That game's not coming out until holiday of 2024. That would be my guess. I think the people making predictions about Hellblade, they're the same people that will, like you're saying, Andrew. It's the same people that are like, oh no, Starfield's definitely coming out in March. They're just desperate. They're just like grasping, like hoping that Xbox has some big monumental year. And it's like, no, I think Xbox is going to have a good year, but I don't think Xbox is going to have all these haymakers land like people think. I don't think so. How long of a game was Hellblade? Oh, what? 8 to 10 hours maybe? Maybe less. It's not a super long game. I think the footage looks imposed. Don't graphics look muddy when filmed on camera? Well, we'll have to watch it again. Off to bed. All right, Raymond, thanks for hanging out. Conspiracy. They used PC for the platform because they're testing DLSS 3.0 to get more frames to the video to make it look smoother. I mean, oh, I was trying to pop my neck. People are enjoying my rant video, my rant short. Yeah, if they're using DLSS to get more frames, that's flat out trickery at that point. You're just flat out tricking people, bro. Because you can't get DLSS on. You can't get that on the consoles. The stream could be compressed by YouTube. Yeah, it's hard to say though. It's hard to say because it looks out of focus enough to be genuine. And when that guy moves and waves, I don't think so. I don't think that's a green screen. I don't think so. His head and the hair on his head, the chroma key would have a hard time with that, I think. DLSS, insert fake frames. Even Todd Howard, if you look, just look at how the edge of his hoodie, all right? There's no way that's been chroma keyed. It's too clean. It's way too clean. There's too many things in front of it. Yeah, I'm not an expert in chroma key. I have limited experience in live streaming in OBS, but I'm here to tell you that when stuff like this passes in front of a chroma key, even like, no shade, this guy's hair is thinning. So you have hair coming up and you have the actual screen colors behind his hair. That's almost impossible to do with chroma key. That's not been chroma keyed there. Neither is that. Yeah, this is all really happening. Even right there. Let's get his hand in front of the monitor. Let's get his hand in front of the monitor. Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? See how his hand blurs and you can see the video behind it? That you couldn't do that with a chroma key. You'd be able to sense in these frames. That bro caught a stray just so Lono could prove his point. I'm not trying to call a man out for his thinning hair. Like, do you see what I'm saying? His thumb is half in the frame and half not in the frame, okay? I'm sure there's a technical explanation for that. That is on the screen because you can see the footage through his thumb. I don't think it's been superimposed on the monitor. It could just be a video. That's fine. It could just be a video. They don't have to necessarily be playing. They could have selected specific footage that they wanted to be shown, for sure. I'm used to muddy images in camera, but I do guess camera tech has come a long way. Oh, yeah. There was a time, Anung Unrama, there was a time where you couldn't record a monitor. It would look terrible and like lines would be going up and down. Yeah, I just think that shooting automatically looks better with respect to the recoil and the snappiness in the movement. It doesn't look nearly as clunky as it did in the initial footage. Did Bethesda spend more time on this video than the game? No, I don't think so. Now, this right here, I was discussing this shot with Creature, and I said the density here is going to be, I think it's going to be a problem for the Series S. And he made the observation that they would just turn down the foliage density. And I think he's probably right. You're allowed to have performance differences. Microsoft doesn't push for performance parity between the Xbox Series X and the S, but they do require feature parity. So I think he's right. I think probably when you play this on the S, I could see a lot of the foliage density turned way down. You know, the grass, the bushes. I bet you the trees would remain. The bigger trees and bushes would remain, but the smaller grass and stuff like that would probably get turned down. Are those dinosaurs? Yeah, it looks like it. Everyone walking around and playing old updates instead of working on the current updates get to work. Yeah, but you don't know when they film this and how they film this. You can't presume that. I'm really starting to worry now at Starfield. I just hope that Bethesda and Microsoft's true to their word and announcement in their official release date. I'm hoping the game won't end up bad. Yeah, Good Will Hunting is a great movie. That's one of my favorite movies. That first helmet's dope, isn't it? That first helmet is nice. That's the thing I think that's really going to sell me on the RPG element. If I can really customize my character and make my character look dope, especially one of the things I'm really happy that they're doing is the third person. I actually love seeing my character in games like this, but I also love, first person shooting. That's a great helmet too, especially if you make your character's face look really, really good. They might be showing us different platforms in the different shots. No, I don't think so. I think these are all PC vertical slices of the game. That I don't know. I mean, you can even see, if we really, really want to break it down here, you see this cable that he's got going here with the blue. He's got another one here. You can see them both accounted for in the back of the computer right here. You can see the thicker braided one right here with the blue. That's his keyboard. And then you can see the thinner one with the blue right here next to the monitor. Right here. You can go watch us on your own and confirm what I'm saying. His controller is plugged into the computer. Go back. Xbox Dev Kit on the left. Yeah, the Xbox Dev Kit's turned off. It's not on. There is an Xbox Dev Kit in one of the shots, but it's not powered on. So here's another one. I look next to him. He's playing on a computer, as far as we can tell. Probably on a computer as well here. I have no reason to think otherwise. Hang on a second. Xbox Dev Kit right there is not turned on. Light here off, light here off. He's got a similar setup. He's got a very similar setup to the other guy. Right? I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that's bad. What I'm saying is that I think we're looking at vertical slices on a PC, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's how many people develop the game. They work on it there, and then they bring it over to the dev kit or port it over to the dev kit. But almost all of this looks like PC work. I thought you said that you didn't want PC vertical slices. I have said that, and this goes back, Real Sticky. This goes back to my showcase video. I have a video where I said these are all the things I want from the showcase. This is everything I want from the Starfield Direct, right? That's on June 11th. Now Vaughn is saying he doesn't think that that Todd is there in the studio because of the lighting. No, he's there in the studio. What it is a trick. It's a trick of the eye. It's tricking your eye a little bit. It does look like he's lit really, really bright from this side, which doesn't seem to jive with the lighting, the ambient lighting in the room. It's because he's lit right there. I'm doing the same thing. I've had people say that they think my background is fake because I have lights right here, and then the ambient lighting back there is very different than the way that I am lit. I look bright AF. I'm like, bing. And then that all back there is significantly darker or has like different tones to it. So I've had people ask me, they're like, is that just a green screen? And I'm like, no, that's really behind me. So I think he just has a bunch of lights. They put a bunch of box lights really, really close to him. And I think he's standing there. Your background is real? Yeah. Yeah, that's all back there behind me. Todd Howard's actually an AI construct. God developer Todd is just brightly lit. Yeah, they just have him brightly lit. That's not uncommon. That what you do is number one, this is just something that happens. If he's closer to the camera and well lit, what it does is it maintains focus on him to give a really, really good depth, like perspective depth shot. So this all stays blurry. It's a trick of the camera. I had to do a bunch of things with my camera recently because the autofocus kept trying to grab that stupid display. So I have to be closer to the camera and in the center frame so that I stay focused. Like when I go like that, my hand's more in focus in the background, and then it slowly brings everything back. Lono's green screen, the background is real. I'm not green screen. If I was green screened, I wouldn't be able to hold up like a green piece of paper. This is an unfair tease, just shot off monitor. Why they didn't show a little bit of gameplay, in my opinion. Well, let's talk about that. That could be a good discussion point, because I have said that between now and the showcase, I would like them to continue releasing those videos where they do the Q&A. If you go to their YouTube channel, if you go to their YouTube channel, right here, you see these constellation questions, talking Starfield quests with Will Shen, and then behind me, here I'll scroll, behind me, constellation questions, talking Starfield with Todd Howard. I would really like them to bring those back. They were each 2 months apart. It was like they went every other month. I would really, really like for them to continue doing that. I would really, really like for them to continue doing that between now and when the actual showcase happens. Like, because I don't think you want them jamming everything into one showcase. Does that make sense? I don't think you want them. Oh yeah, because there's so many things they could talk about. They could talk about. I want to see things in action. I want to see certain pieces of the gameplay in action, and I think I would like that more than feeling like, oh, they got to jam everything into one showcase, if that makes sense. Because in my mind, I think they've got systems that people are going to want to see before the game launches. OMG, I come back to court analysis. I'll be playing on PC, so it's all good. Well, I mean, we're speculating. People were speculating whether or not we were seeing, vertical slices on a PC or Xbox gameplay. Well, let's look at the gameplay footage. Is there any clues or indication in the footage, to indicate where they're playing? And I think there's enough footage of them at their desks to say, yeah, this is almost. I'm going to go on record and say I think it's all PC vertical slice, and that's not a slam. That's not me being biased. That's just common. I like the jetpack dodge. The animations looked better. Yeah, if you compare. When's that happen? Yeah, right here. If you compare this jetpack maneuverability right here over like that, if you compare that to the footage we already have, I really like that too. I like that suit that he's got on, and look how different his jetpack is. I hope they give us a lot of customization in that regard. And then the icon down in the corner with the gun, I think this is really good. I love the minimal UI and the minimal HUD. But yeah, I agree. I think the first time they showed us somebody kind of like launch into a jetpack and go into third person view, I think it looks better now. That's the best screen I've seen. She's got a little, I just noticed it. She's got a little Grogu, little baby Yoda, and his ears are back on the desk. That's great. That's awesome. I'm glad they're showing off a variety in their biomes. Yeah, I think the biomes that they were showing look really, really good. What's wrong with that guy's face? Go back. It's looping right now. Which guy's face? The guy in the oops. The guy in the helmet? I fear with all the customization, there's a heavy emphasis on Game Pass and a skin shop. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the person in the helmet is a she. I think so. Honest question, do you judge people who own an Xbox? No, I have an Xbox Series X and I like it a lot. I'm going to play Starfield on my Series X. I prefer to play on that over PC. I actually prefer to play on my Xbox over PC. People give me grief about that. You know, PC Master Race guys give me grief about that. But I prefer to play on my Series X over the PC. He has a nice beard. I'm not sure what specifically. So we're supposed to go to the spot where the helmets are, right? Okay, here we go. I don't. What am I? Oh, that does look like a guy. Okay, I thought it was a girl. What am I supposed to be seeing that's weird here? Yo, what's good, Sven? I need you to point out. Yeah, it's not even on. It's not even in frame for very long. Oh, you talked about the Baby Yoda on the desk. She has a Baby Yoda on the desk. It was a gentleman. Oh, you're right. You're right. I thought you were talking about the person in frame. I saw the ponytail in the corner of my eye, and I thought, oh, yeah, sorry. This is a gentleman. This is a dude. I mean, we're presuming that. But yeah, sorry about that. I thought you were talking about the game. I was like, what's the matter with the face? What are you talking about? Sorry. I apologize. I literally, in my peripheral, like I'm sitting really close to my monitor, so like in my peripheral, all I saw was the ponytail. I used to get that all the time as a gentleman who had longer hair. You just assume? Mm-hmm. Don't see much detail on the tooth of the monster? What? Where's the footage? They do such quick slices, it's hard to find them without just rewatching the entire dadgum video. If you can't put a cowboy hat on your character, this game will fail? Didn't they show footage in the original gameplay of a cowboy hat? What do you mean not much detail on the tooth? There's detail. That looks fine. The lighting looks fine. The texture looks fine. I don't know what you're talking about. That looked totally fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a cowboy hat in the original gameplay footage. Isn't there? Bring back, yeah, Francis Fordhead. It's in this section, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's in this section. There you go. There you go, cowboy. And you can be you. You got to wear a helmet. You're in space. How's a cowboy hat gonna work? Maybe you set. I wonder if you can set like. What's the word that I'm thinking of? It's not a loadout, but it's almost like a customization preset. Maybe you set like a customization preset for like when you're walking around town and interacting with people. Gonna suffocate for that hat. You're like, look, man, I look good, even though I'm dead. Yeehaw confirmed. Yes, yeehaw has been confirmed. You're not always in space. Well, yeah, in the original gameplay trailer, they're running around town, talking to people, and the people that you're talking in towns and stuff, they all don't have. You're always in space? No, you're not. No, you're not. How'd you get full screen images of that barrier? Oh, did somebody just grab screenshots to, like, get really good screenshots? Like, in the original gameplay trailer, there's plenty of shots of people, like, just around town walking around. Like, right here. Like, look, there's an old woman there. There's a dude there. You're not always in space. You're on a planet which is in space. You're always in space. I'm being pedantic AF. We're always in space. I freaking hate you. I was like, what do you mean you're always in space? I was like, what are you talking about? I was seriously wondering. I was like, huh? I was like, of course. Screenshots that have been color corrected. I like that you can play in first and third person. I do as well. I do as well. I think it's good. Hide helmet in breathable areas. Yeah, it could literally just be a hide helmet thing. Like, you're actually wearing a helmet. It's just hidden. That's also a distinct possibility. That is a distinct possibility. Can't wait to see more, honestly. I wish we didn't have to wait until June, though. Oh, to see more? But see, that's what I said. I'm actually hoping that that's not the case. I am. I'm hoping that they do more of their Constellation Questions videos between now and June. I think they should, personally. I think they should. I think they totally should. I think they should say, listen, we've got plenty to show you guys. We're not going to make you wait all the way until frickin', June to see more of the game. I think that they've got plenty that they could show between now and then. Come on. You've got systems you could outline. You've got so many things that you could outline and do interviews about. I don't think you wait until June to show us everything. I think that would be a mistake. You think another delay would slip into 2024? Again, I don't think there's a chance for another delay, and my reasoning is this. They never once mention the release date in this trailer. Nobody speaks the release date. It's put up on a frame with an image, right? Good morning, Dolphin Girl. So I think that's because the release date is a very, very new development. I don't think they knew the release date for this game until very, very recently. Extremely recently. This doesn't look janky to me. It looks like we're getting 60 FPS. That doesn't mean anything to me. I have zero doubts that Starfield will be able to get 60 FPS on a PC. Having a trailer or gameplay footage at 60 FPS doesn't mean literally anything. It means nothing, quite literally. Because you could literally only get it on PC. Like, we don't know until they specifically speak to it, tell it to us, we get benchmarks, we get the game on our hands. We have no idea. No one spoke it. No one to blame. I don't agree with that take. No one spoke it because this was all filmed and edited and spliced up so that it would be ready to go once they picked a release date. You honestly think the big giant numbers coming up on screen, they did that so you can't blame Todd Howard? That's not what's happening. It wasn't spoken so that they could put all this together, record all this, get all this ready to go, and then they could just say, hey, we finally have our release date. Let's go. The rant you posted was Chef's Kiss. Thank you. Appreciate that. dev on the back, though? He's playing on a dev kit? We don't know. They didn't say. There's a dev kit in one of the shots, and it's not even turned on. Stephen Marston with 18 months. Second half of fiscal year 2024. Not a delay. How are those creators so wrong in their showcase timing? I don't know, Eugene. I don't know. I was more accurate than the insiders. Oh, you're just speculating, Mike. Okay. Guys, could we get 3 more members? Let's get 3 more gifted members. I'll owe you 5. We haven't missed this goal in a super long time. And we definitely have more to do, more to talk about, and more to show you today. But let's kind of do that. We just hit 400 likes. What an amazing ratio. What an amazing turnout today. We almost got into the 600 viewers at one point in time. In the first, roughly in the first hour of the broadcast. First hour is seemingly our sweet spot lately. It just doesn't look smooth, though. Don't even know why I'm paying this much attention to the FPS. I think it looks smooth. What section of the gameplay doesn't look smooth to you? Ryan Hayer with 18 months. It's a VIP plus. Welcome back. More chord analysis, please. I think the gameplay looks smooth. I don't see anything that doesn't look smooth at all. Especially right there. That pan, that all looks smooth to me. Yo, Stephen Marston's going to get us real close. 1 more gifted membership. Thank you. Time's flying, my man. Keep it up. Thank you, Rainbow, for 16 months of membership. Scott D snags the membership, taking us to 23 out of 25. You guys can slow walk this one at a time. Zoom in on those cups and hands. Quintar's going to gift 1. Goes to Locker Dose. Or Locker Dosey. It does look pretty smooth, but for me, it's not going to matter because with the PC I'm going to run this on, I'm going to be lucky to get 30 at 1080. How do I re-up my membership? You should be able to just do it in chat by clicking on the $sign. And there's the 25th one from Quintar. Quintar's like, I'll get us there. I'll get us there. Ryan's going to tip it. He's going to tip it. Now you guys should just go all the way to 50 at this point. You just tipped it to 26, so might as well go all the way to 50. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Thank you guys for helping us hit that goal today. Guys, don't forget, our the coffee orders have just dramatically slowed down. They have dramatically slowed down. I don't talk about it nearly as much. I don't like to disrupt the show to constantly talk about the coffee. Thank you for another gifted membership, Quintar. But we are working through our inventory because we've got new bags coming. So we're doing a March Madness sale. If you use code March Madness, you can get $5 off our triple thread. So you can get the light roast, the dark roast, and the holiday blend for $45. So use code March Madness to get that. You can go to reforgeroast.com right now. People are being a hater if they say this doesn't look better than the last reveal. Y'all telling on yourselves? Nobody's saying that. He admitted that it looks smooth. I think it looks smooth. Listen, the thing that should be crystal clear to people that have been following me for a while and following my Starfield coverage, listen, if there's something you should know now is that you're getting consistent coverage from me. I'm not running with some narrative. I'm not running some bias-laden, propaganda. I'm giving you the footage. I'm giving you the facts. Not once have I tried to run some narrative on Starfield. Oh, at 223, there's a hide helmet option at the bottom of the screen. Nice. And when Doc Dark was on the podcast and I said, I want Starfield to be amazing, he was like, I believe you. He was like, I believe you. Here, let me gift you guys the 5 that I owe you before Quintar's falls out of the chat I want to be able to piggyback here. Way easier to piggyback off of gifteds at the top. Here's the 5 members I owe you. I do this at the end of the stream, so that way it gives you guys a reward for sticking around. Nobody said that. Keep mischaracterizing. That's what I'm saying. You're saying chat said that, Mike. Who said that? Who in chat said this doesn't look better than the last showcase? Yeah, we're going to be doing a member stream today, Cleo. Yes. Soulfire, Christopher, Mick, G, Cornish, and Dalton. You guys are all now members, and you can come along with us when we do a member stream later. I have a video for you guys today. It's a really good one. Wayfinder extended gameplay. Wayfinder has new extended gameplay, and people are really excited about this game. They are really excited, and we have a reaction to it, and then we're going to discuss it with members. Hey, my man Rygen snagged 3 bags of the dark roast. Thank you so much for doing that. Appreciate that so much. Can we agree it looks better but is still concerning? You're doing a great job, Lono. You seem pretty hyped for the game to me. Yeah, I am keeping myself appropriately hyped and excited, right? I keep stressing the same thing. I think this game could be huge for Bethesda. I think this game could be huge for Xbox. My primary concern is performance. That's it. I'm gonna keep stressing that. I'm gonna keep stressing that. That's my primary concern. You can show me vertical slices. You can show me amazing gameplay all week long. What's concerning? We know virtually nothing about performance. That's the giant question mark in the room. The initial gameplay they showed us had performance issues. What they've shown us today, as far as we can tell, it's a bunch of vertical slices on PC. That's awesome. That's great. That doesn't show me anything about the game's quality and the performance. That's what many of us want to see. And I think that's fair. I don't think we're being unfair at all. If you guys want to join us for the Wayfinder reaction video, go to my profile on the Tickety Talk, click on YouTube, the YouTube link to come to Reforge Gaming. I got a video premiering about Wayfinder, and then I'm going to hang out with the members and discuss it. I'm shutting off the Tickety Talk stream. Okay, I am going to send you guys over to this Wayfinder video. I rewarded the loyalty of people sticking around and watching the show. So if you have a membership, don't forget this Friday night, we're going to be doing a doubleheader horror weekend. My wife and I are going to be diving back into the Devil in Me. We'll also be playing that new DC Chaos game. I need your guys' help. Whenever we do these premieres, you gotta leave a comment and a like. It helps out the video. We're all gonna go hang out in a premiere together about Wayfinder. I want to know your thoughts about this game. It's premiering right now. We're gonna head over to it. If you don't like redirects, don't ride the redirect. Click the link in chat. When the premiere's over, I'm hanging out with members. Thanks for hanging out and having a great discussion with me today. I'll see you guys over there in the premiere.